Hi, so I wanted to start this video saying I made a mistake in the last video. I said that Michael Marcus Payne had said that seeing eye dogs was like, dogs are guides, a friend, seeing eye dogs. Actually, I made the comment about seeing eye dogs. He said there are friends, they're guides. And he also gave one more message, which was Earth to Mars, Earth to Mars. Like, I want to share some feelings I had about a man named Natan. I felt he was testing me too much. Maybe here, maybe I'm like, maybe I am, and maybe he or maybe I am stingy or immature or stupid or a loser, and we were experiencing singularity over Shabbos. I felt he was like with me. I wanted both open arms, but maybe I didn't as much as he didn't as well, and I felt there was no more being mean to each other. No one likes it. We crossed the power struggle line, and his intensity almost knocked me off my feet. I only need a small amount at once for now. I want to hug his inner child, move in and embrace after taking care of my own inner child. And if I don't alter my mind with any substance for 3 days, I might have a clearer picture of whether he's on my level, or we are both climbing, and it just so happens to be the same way toward true love, or we are temporarily crossing paths, or whether it feels like a drug, infatuation, or something that makes me feel good without being free. So it requires improving of my ability to adapt, grow, and heal, strengthen and learn and remember and fight, to compete, to influence, to stay cool, to be sexy. And I had been practicing imagining living in the same rooms as him, sharing company, intimate, mundane, quiet life, holding my hand, seeing me sitting at the edge of the bed in a towel under the armpits and a towel on my head, wrapping my hair, eating out of the container in the kitchen together during Shabbos meal where the challah was, after some other food and the grape juice after that during the meal, and me standing in the room, with leftovers and just sexy makeup, pajama pants and a big shirt, and him loving the look. And I just wish I could be more trusting of Hashem, my real companion, for my companionship and my future. And from Malik University, they tell us that emotions are messengers, subtle or intense, offering, Malik at ID Institute. That emotions are messengers, subtle or intense, offering insights into our inner world, like lights on a dashboard. For example, when frustration flares or anxiety lingers or exhaustion sets in, which are not just passing inconveniences, but invitations to pause and listen. Frustration, irritability, or anger is a signal that something feels blocked, unacknowledged, out of alignment. Overwhelm or exhaustion is an indication that you may be carrying too much or neglecting your own needs. Anxiety or restlessness may be pointing to unprocessed emotions, uncertainty, or a need for grounding or safety. Numbness, disengagement, sometimes a sign of emotional overload or disconnection from ourselves. Loneliness, sadness, a reminder of unmet emotional needs, longing for connection, or unresolved grief. In today's fast-paced world, the tendency is to override the signals and convince ourselves to just keep going. But much like ignoring a plant that wilts from a lack of water, neglecting our emotional well-being on the one hand can inhibit our capacity to grow and be effective in the world. On the other hand, it can deepen our struggles. The invitation is not to fix or suppress these feelings, rather to acknowledge them with curiosity and care. A few ways to respond is, first of all, pausing and checking in, taking a deep breath, asking ourselves, what am I feeling right now? Or what might this emotion be trying to tell me? I'm going to say I have a little hopelessness right now. We can give ourselves permission to feel emotions. We don't have to be logical and convenient. They simply are. Emotions don't have to be logical or convenient. Let them be seen without judgment. It's hopeless. It just feels hopeless. Seek support, whether it's a trusted friend or therapist or community member. Speaking about how you're feeling can bring clarity and relief. Prioritize personal care, which can be time in nature, journaling, moving your body, or simply resting. Your well-being matters. To live a full, healthy life, it's essential to tune into what's coming through from within. Emotions are not obstacles, they're guides, and by paying attention, you give yourself the opportunity to move through life with greater awareness, balance, and care. In bereishis Rabbah 8, Rabbi Yochanan ben Baruch says that the man and the woman are commanded regarding both of them. God blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply. The man subdues and restrains his wife, so she should not go out in public in an inappropriate manner, as any woman who does will ultimately falter. And they say the example is Dinah. And berachot 8a, 903. There's 903 types of death, and the most difficult is croup, while the easiest is the kiss of death. Croup is like a thorn entangled in a wool fleece, which when pulled backwards tears the wool, or like ropes at the entrance of the esophagus, which would be nearly impossible to insert, excruciating to remove. The kiss of death is like drawing a hair out of milk, though. Like in tehillim, the Psalms, it says, issues of death. Issues are totzaot, which is 903. Totzaot is, 903 is the gematria, the numerical value of the 903 types of death. So this is tehillim, the Psalm 68:21. Mar Zutra said that at the time of finding refers to a suitable lavatory. The term finding, motza, is explicitly associated with the lavatory in the Torah in 2 Kings 10:27. Basically, the time of finding, when you need something more than anything, is when you need a bathroom. Anyway, we'll stop here. I want to wish everybody a good Shabbos, where we get to the root of any unhealthy dynamics and pluck it out and just heal, grow, be one with ourselves. Love and peace and joy, royalty, sovereignty, trusting that there's no physical representation of our worth. Like there's no person, place, or thing that would make us worthy. Trusting that God makes us worthy and that we have calmness in that, serenity in that, tranquility in that, and that we know that we can handle no matter what happens, anything at all, by believing that it's God that's doing it. And if we're able to have the faith that life itself is supporting us, not because we're proving that we deserve life, but because God decided to give us life, may we use our lifetime, our energy, our time for the highest, most good